Hey guys, this is Mark with Weston Maine Homes. Glad you can make it. I'm going to show you how to make property videos with iMovie. You can make your vacation trips into a little clip or a trailer or a movie, and that way you can go back and watch them later. I've got a YouTube channel, and got several YouTube channels. So just so you can kind of look and see what I've done, let's go ahead and see if we can get you here. So here's my channel up here. I've got two. I got a personal channel, and then I have the Sue and Mark at Weston Maine Homes. So I've got all these videos here, and it's very good when you go into a listing presentation and they say what kind of marketing you're going to do. Well, I can show them these different things. And so now, started this like 2 or 3 years ago, and I've got a good catalog of videos that I upload, and it helps to secure the listing, especially if you're competing with another agent or several agents for that matter. So you can watch some of these on your own time and see. Sometimes I do 3 different videos. I'll do, if we have enough time, we get the photos in early enough, we'll do a coming soon video. So I think that's one here in Highlands Ranch. I think this is also a coming soon. So I'll do a coming soon video, and then when it goes live, I'll do another video that's a little bit longer. The coming soon's is usually a trailer. We're going to learn how to do the trailer on another video another time, but those are the ones that are most fun, I think. So I'll do the trailer for the coming soon, then I'll do the regular movie, which is usually about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. The trailer is usually about a minute. So today we're going to concentrate on the just doing the movie part for the property video. So I'm going to close this out. Okay, we're going to start off. Go to applications, find your iMovie, launch that, double click there. Give it a second to load. Okay, so you can see this is my library. I'm going to create new, and here's your selection where you could go to the trailer or the movie. We're going to do movie today. All right, so this is the name of your movie up here, and we can name that a little later. So the first thing we need to do is import the pictures. So we can either import it here or up here. So either one of these. So we're going to start off doing that. Sometimes you have to toggle back and forth over here to get where those pictures are. I always file mine in a specific place. I always file them in documents, and then I've got have a subfolder of Weston Maine, then I have a subfolder of Weston Maine clients, and then I have the client's name, and then I have the property pictures underneath that. So there's like 5 layers, but in this case I've just put them right here. Click on iMovie training photo, and import selected. Okay, so for this training session I was putting in about 25 photos. This is the property we sold in Highlands Ranch. Okay, so the first thing when remember doing any kind of advertising is you always want, number one, you want to identify the brokerage. Always want to identify Weston Maine, and then of course you want to identify yourself for marketing purposes. You notice what I've also uploaded here. So you can see when I scroll over any one of these little pictures up here on the left hand side, it comes over here in the right hand side, so you can see what's going on. So I've uploaded, I like to put Sue and I's headshot in there at the very end, and then I usually like to put this picture in the very beginning. So this down here in this section, that's going to be our work area. So we're going to be importing or moving these pictures on the left side up here. We're going to be moving them down here. So the simplest way to do that is just click and drag. So here we go. I could either click and drag here and put that down. That's going to be the first one. If I don't like it there, then I can move it somewhere else when we get started, or I could shorten it right now. If you notice, there's 8 seconds is how long this clip is. So I can just click and drag it. That's 5.1 seconds if I just really want it. 4 seconds, I can click and drag. The other way to do that is to highlight it. It's highlighted in orange. Then go up here to this little duration button, clip information, and you see it says 4 seconds. So that matches what it says here, 4 seconds. So let's say, oh, I don't want that. That's too long. Let's put it at 2.5 seconds. Put 2.5, hit return. You can see it shrunk that down to 2.5 seconds. So there's a shortcut to do all the pictures at the same time, and I'll show you that in just a second, but that's if you want to do individual pictures. So a lot of times I will go through and I will hand do these. If I don't have a lot to do, it's because it's hard to move pictures around when you get down this little timeline here. So I always typically start off at the front of the house. And I like to have 2 or 3 pictures, so let's go with this one. And then if I just hit this plus button, that will actually add it to the timeline. Let's go here, another front one, another one here, front one. So you can see as soon as I added them, it changed this picture to orange at the bottom. So that means I've already used those photos. Keeps track, it helps keep track because you don't want to have the same photo in the video twice. So that just helps to keep track of what you've used and what you haven't. So I usually start off with the front and doing a couple of photos there, and then I'll go to the living room portion of the house or the kitchen. So let's see if we can find a living room picture. Yeah, I thought there was one up. Here we go. There's one there. That's the dining. That's the formal living. Here we go. So I usually get a couple of pictures from different vantage points. We got 2 or 3 pictures from the kitchen, 2 or 3 pictures from the living room, a couple of different angles from the master bedroom. So this is the master bedroom. Let's go there. That's usually what people want to see first. So here's a couple of pictures from that. Here's pictures of the master bath. Okay, we've done that. Then we go into the secondary bedrooms. There's a secondary bedroom. Another one. So a lot of times I'll just do it like this. I'll do all of them separately. And then after I've finished the inside, I was like, oh, now I want to highlight the backyard. I could have done that first in the very beginning, but I kind of feel like you're walking through the house. Oh, you see the front. It's almost like you're replicating the walkthrough. So start off at the front, you visit the inside, and then you go to the backyard. So I try to do it that way. So the next thing I will want to add. Oh, so real quick, you see this how the photos are starting to fill up the timeline here. If you go over here, this will change how thin, how wide these photos are. It gives you a little bit more room to work with each individual photo instead of them being so small that you don't know what they look like. So you can make them wider up here. Other thing to point out is that right now we do not have a theme. So there are some selected things you can select in iMovie, and that is right over here in settings. Let me move myself over here. So you see right here we have no theme. If you hit that, so we could go to any of these. So if you're doing like your family vacation, these are the ones I think would be most appropriate. They're really fun. But the one that I found most useful for real estate is the news one and the newscast. Those ones, this one I usually put like breaking news, new listing. And this one too, I can use breaking news. The other ones, not so much. So I haven't found them to be appropriate for real estate. So we're just going to go with the no theme. Cancel that. So we have no theme right now. And just by the way, when you do a theme, it automatically inserts those different transitions for you. So it automatically does some of the things for you. So just kind of play around with that and see what it inserts and whether you like it or not. Right now we're going to go with the no theme. So we're building the property videos. I like it to be, around 1 minute to 2 minutes. So right now you can see it's 24 seconds long. So we've got some more work to do. So we've got to see, where do we leave off? So when you scroll down here, you can see it goes up to the top, shows you what's going on. So one thing that I really liked to do, and I think it makes it look very professional, is you can see when I drag this cursor here, and then when it goes from one picture to the next, it just pops up real quick. I like there to be a smooth transition. So the one way to do that is to go up here and click on your transitions right up here. And you notice you've got all these different transitions. They're really fun. So just try these things out. Let's just put one down. You click, and then you're going to drag it right between the picture. Okay? So now that transition is there. So I'm going to start back and see what this plays like. You're just going to click here. And then I can either do one of two things. I can either come over here and hit the play button, or I can hit the space bar. Just hit the space bar once, and it will start playing. You see how it moved one picture and up and one and back? So that was just one little transition. I actually like to put a transition in between each photo, and I like for it to be smooth. I used to do this a lot, like 5-10 times during the video, and I just thought everything moved around too much. So that's just my style. You may like it like that, so if you like it, then I encourage you to do so. But in this case, I'm going to take that, I'm going to delete it, so just highlight it, hit the delete button. There you go. Let's see what the cross dissolve looks like. Let's go here and put that down there. Okay, so let's bring it back over here a little bit, hit the space bar. You see the way it just faded in there? You can drag it really closely. You can see it's fading, and then it goes into the next picture. If you think that fade is too quick, then you can click on the actual transition. Double click on that. And you can see you can change the length of that cross dissolve. Let's just change it to 1 second. So that means it's going to take a little bit more of this picture and cross into that other picture. And it's just a slower transition. It's a little smoother. Let's watch it. Yeah. So you can decide whether you want a half a second. I usually use half a second. And that seems to be sufficient. So anyway, that's one feature I love. You can put transitions into all of these, and you can customize it, or let's go through. I'm going to hit this and delete this for now. So let's go back to the very first and click on the first picture, and then I'm going to hit Control A. Watch what happens when I hit Command A, Command A. Okay, you can see all the pictures down here are highlighted now. I'm going to go up to Edit. Come down here to Add Cross Dissolve. Watch what happens when I hit that. It's going to put a cross dissolve in between each photo. There we go. Here's the transition here, transition. So you've just put a transition in between each photo. That would have taken me, I don't know. If I wanted to customize it, that might take me, 3, 4, 5 minutes. So you're really cutting a lot of time off developing this video. So that's one really quick way to get those in there. Okay, so right now these are, it looks like all these, see when I go over these pictures, you can see it's right there. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. We talked about that earlier. So it's like, okay, I want them all around 2 seconds. I usually make my pictures or the length of each photo about 2 seconds, 2 to 2.5. Depends on what it is. If it's a half bath, I may just flash that in there. But if it's the master bedroom and I want to spend a little bit more time up there showcasing that area, I may use 3 seconds in that area. But to get everything the same, everything that's highlighted now, we're going to go up and find the duration clip. And let's make that 2.5. Put in 2.5, hit enter. And you see it changed. Sometimes it doesn't change the front, but everything else should be 2.5. I can make this a little bit smaller so I can see my pictures a little easier. So 2.5, 2.5. See, the front and the end sometimes have problems. So everything is done. I've got 2.5. You noticed it increased my length of my video to 47 seconds. So I'm getting pretty close to that minute time frame, which is excellent. Let's see here. And yeah, and be sure to play around with a lot of these transitions. I'll show you my favorite one actually. So I usually pan from the front and pan from the left side to the right side. So we're going to highlight right here, and we're going to go up to this blue box right here. So there's a couple of different things here. I can crop this photo, and like if you had a trash can right here, and you wanted to move it up and get that out of the picture, or you could just click and drag and then just move this picture. You can make it really close in or zoom in. To go back up here, you can just make it go back to the fit. Or this is the one I use on almost every single picture. So if you really want to make your videos look professional, I think the Ken Burns effect is what is going to impress most of your clients, and it's going to look very professional. So the Ken Burns is this famous guy out in Hollywood, and he does a lot of documentaries, and he's like in the forefront of all these zooming and panning. So that's why they named it after him. So you can take a still photo and you can make it look like you're actually videoing. So it can take a certain still photo like this, and I'll show you. You can make it look like you're zooming or panning from left to right or up and down or in and out. So here we go. You can see we've got a start and an end. So I'm going to start here and end here. And if you don't like that, you can make it where, hey, I want to zoom in right on those front porch steps. Those are really nice. Let's start there. Hit enter. After you've got that there, you can change the start as well. Okay. Hit enter. Okay, now we're going to go back and see what this looks like. Here we go. We're going to hit the space bar. There it goes. Awesome. I really like the Ken Burns effect. So I usually do that for each and every photo. So we're going to do this photo here. Go up to the Ken Burns effect. All right, and this one, I want to show the side yard. Let's say, for example, so let's see. I'm going to reduce this a little bit. And we're just going to pan. I want to get this big spruce tree right here and there. I'm going to make this about the same size as the other one, so it looks like I'm just panning from left to right. So there we go. Got it in place where I want it. Hit enter. And go back, and I'm going to see how this looks. hit the space bar. There's a zoom in. And now we're panning from left to right. Isn't that cool? The other feature I like to use is going to go right here. Going to go back to Ken Burns. I'm going to hit the end. I like to go right in the front door. If you watch a lot of my videos, I have the same thing, but I like it. And you can do stuff that you like to do and be creative. Let's move this out a little bit. Don't we just start off in the black? I want to stay inside the picture. Okay. I'm going to move that up a little bit. Hit enter. Okay. So watch what happens here. There it goes into the front door. So here's what I like to do. When it does that, so I've got a cross dissolve right here. Remember the transition we put in there earlier? I'm going to take that and I'm going to hit the delete button. And I like this doorway transition. I'm going to take and put this doorway transition right here. And again, I'm going to make it just a little slower. I like this to be a little slower. I've learned this from doing a bunch of them. But I'm going to increase this to 1 second. I think it looks a little better when you do 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to start off here. I click there to stop it. Then I'm going to hit the space bar and see how things are looking so far. There's the left to right pan. Here we go, going into the house. Open it up. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah. So I do that. That's fun. I do that on a lot of my videos. Let's see here. What do we got? This one, I also like to go Ken Burns because it's a cloud one, and so if you look at a lot of my videos, they all start off the same, but I like to go from left to right, and it looks like you're in the clouds. So when you start off here, this goes from left to right, then everything else starts. I know normally like in this second, I'll go back and look at this second picture. I don't usually zoom in that quickly. So, this one I would normally just have it like going from up and down or something like that, and a slower effect. Hit enter, and there you go. All right, so one other thing you can do on the Ken Burns. Okay, I've got this right here. I've got this picture highlighted. Go to Ken Burns. So you can see I start on the outside and I'm zooming in. What if I want to start close to the house and then move out? Well, they've got a reverse button right here. You can see that? So I don't even have to reconfigure all this stuff. All I have to do is hit the reverse button. Now it starts inside and comes out. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. One thing I will say that I've learned from experience is that you don't want to have a lot of Ken Burns effects where it's moving in, the next picture is moving out, next picture moving in, then back out, move in, move out. It gets a little bit nauseous. So I try to make some smooth transitions in and out, and then back out, sideways. Just try to smooth it out a little bit. So what if we go to every single picture and do the Ken Burns thing, it's going to take a while, especially if you've got like 30 photos in there. So I'll show you a quick way to get the Ken Burns effect on every single photo. Okay, so I'm going to click the first photo. Again, that we've used this before, but we're going to do the same thing. Command A. Okay, Command A highlights every single picture, right? and go. You can see that also turned the cropping thing orange. So now it's highlighted too. So now we're just going to do Kim Burns. So it should, if we go back over here, click that, start it. Okay, we did that one, we customized that one, You can see it scrolling along. I'm just scrolling down. I customized that one, but I did not have a Ken Burns effect on that one. That was a still photo. You can see it's taking every photo. And you notice these are blue right here. iMovie, sometimes it does not want to show you pictures. So just have to, they'll show up eventually, but sometimes you just have to wait. Very frustrating sometimes with the iMovie. I get the spinny wheel a lot. It breaks down its processing, so it just has a tendency to do that. So you can see now the pictures are back. So let's see. We've covered the Ken Burns effect, how to get that all onto photos. We've identified our brokerage. We've identified ourself yet? No, you haven't. So let's start. Let's see. What do we got at the end? Let's go back to our media up here. That's our photos. I want to put some stuff on the back porch in the backyard, because that was a really good yard. Here, I just got a couple of them. We'll put that back there. There's one more here. Okay. All right, so now we're up to 51 seconds. We're doing great. And also what I do is go around the neighborhood, like Highlands Ranch. You're going to want to highlight, the rec centers and the trail systems, and you're going to want to, highlight maybe some favorite close by restaurants. So I'll typically go around and go and video somebody walking their dogs or throwing a football or playing tennis in this case. So I've got a few here. I'm going to add these people playing tennis. You can see if I go through, you can see them playing tennis over here. You see it's highlighted in yellow, and it's got these little things at the end, kind of like handles. So if you wanted to add this 5.4 second video, you can just hit the plus, or you can say, oh, I just want the first section of this. You can just click and drag. So I said, yeah, I only want to do the first 3 seconds. And now you hit that plus button, and it just added 3 seconds of the 5.4 video. So if you notice up here, this section is not orange. This section is orange, which means you use this portion of the video. You did not use this one. So if you wanted to use this second section later, you could, if you wanted to. Let's go and add, we forgot to add the office. What happens if you do that? Oh, so now the office is at the end. Well, it's very easy. You're just going to go and put it at the front where it needs. You just click and drag. Let's see, where do we want to do it? We have to get really specific on where it's going to go. Otherwise, it won't drop in. So now it's only 2 seconds. I'm going to click and drag this right here, because I know all my other photos are 2.5, I believe is what they were. 2.5. There it is, 2.5. It's 2.7, 2.2. So pretty close, pretty close. So that's how you take a picture. If you want to move it around, you just, if you don't like the order, you can click and drag any of those. Okay, so I've got people playing tennis. I had people, this is actually not in Highlands Ranch, but I just put it in here for training purposes. So this is 7 seconds. So yeah, that's going to be too long. We'll just do 4 seconds. Click and drag that. We're up to a minute now. Before, the last thing I usually do is I'm going to add titles. So we're going to add titles to everything above here. Titles go above the pictures, and music goes below the pictures. But wait, I never start that until I've got all the photos in the exact same place that I want them. I can tell you from experience, it's going to be frustrating if you start putting in titles and then they're going to move to a different picture or it's going to mess things up. So anyway, I do all the photos and videos first. Okay, so let me turn this up a little bit. Okay, so I've got people playing tennis, and then I've got people at the park. So listen to there's some people talking in the background. Here we go. And so got a little bit of wind on this one. So how do we get rid of that? So very easy fix. So when you're out recording, you always want to turn your phone sideways. And the reason for that is if you take it straight up, then you're going to have a black line, a black space on each side of the photo. So just remember, when you're outside, you want to video with your iPhone sideways. To get rid of this, the noise, the wind, you're going to just take 2 fingers and just press down on your bar. And you can see it says detach audio. So now there's my audio down here. I'm going to click on that. See, it's highlighted in yellow. I'm going to hit the delete button. Awesome. So you can see when I go back, there's no background noise. You can hear a little bit there. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Just press down on your board there, detach audio, hit delete. Okay, they're gone. So that way you don't have to worry, like when you're out recording, if it's really windy that day, or there's somebody talking right next to you while you're doing it. I don't care. I'm only looking for the shot. So that's a good tip for you to remember when you're out and about. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to wanting to add some titles in here. Let's go back to my media. So I know I'm going to put the price somewhere. Do I put that at the beginning or the end? So typically I put our headshot at the very end. Contact Sue and Mark. This picture is taken up and down. Unfortunately, that's the way we received it, but I can make it work. So I just click on Ken Burns. And I'll just start. I usually try to put in like there, put in our Weston Main homes, and then I like to move it up just a little bit. So it'll just start there and then zoom in on us just a little bit. So let's see what that looks like. Nice, okay. That's what I typically do for us. And if you want to, you could put like, prices here, or one of the things I like to do is go to backgrounds. So backgrounds is up here in the top. What you can do is you can add any of these backgrounds, and you can plug them in between any of these photos. So what I'll do is I like to take the white a lot, and I'll just put that in here and drag it right in between there and the last photo. Okay, so now I've got an empty picture, although I don't have any transitions right now. So I could go back and do that Command A and add transitions, or I could just add them to my to each individual one. So we'll just leave them without it for right now. So then I could go up to titles, and I can add, let's say here, you can look at all these different titles. So standard, if you click on it and just drag it, you can see how over here in this box, how it expands. So this one's called the standard lower. This is where it's going to show up on your background or on your photo. So let's just pick this one, for example. And you can see this little purple bar. That's when the title is going to start showing up. So if I leave it right here, it's going to show up right probably about 2 seconds into that background. So I want it to show up right at the very beginning. So what I'll do is I'll like to take the white a lot, and I'll just put that in here and drag it right in between there and the last photo. So just leave them without it for right now. So There we go. So let's say we go list price. Sometimes I like to use value pricing. I'll go value pricing. Hit enter. Okay, so now it's white, but I don't want it to be white on white. So then you just click up here, this little box right here. So you know what? I'm going to go with the Western Maine blue. How about that? Then you just hit enter, and there you go. You just changed it to blue. You can see how it kind of fades in and out. Let's see how that looks. So you can see that was called the expanded one. I believe that's the one we checked. So let's see what that looks like. There we go. Stop that. We didn't put the price in there, so let's go back and put that in there. Sometimes you have to enter twice. I don't know if you heard me do that, but you hit enter once, and then you see it kind of goes to a different screen, and then hit enter again. Then you will get the change will be saved. So now we've got value pricing. We could say, so like this is a little bit harder because, you know, I don't want the title right over us. If I put it here, you know, then the title would be right over our picture, our face. So I could just highlight this, hit delete. And so maybe I just want I want something at the bottom. So like this one right here is a name description. I'm going to have to find something in the lower section. Standard lower third. Here we go. So let's drag that over our name. Drag it right there. Typically I do this frame longer. You can see how the title usually comes in at 4 seconds. That doesn't mean you have to have it 4 seconds, because you can shorten that if you want to 3 seconds by just clicking and dragging, or you can go up here for the duration clip. We've gone over that earlier. So in this case, I'm just going to drag it out a little bit. Sometimes I'll make this 4 or 5 seconds. And I'm going through and I'm going to go back to in this case, I might just leave it white because I've got some black background there, you know. So I might just say, hey, you know, contact Sue. Hit enter once, hit enter again. That saved it. Okay. All right. Get rid of that. Okay, we've gone through everything. I think we pretty much, so I would recommend adding, when you go through the titles, I would be consistent. So if you're going to pick one of these to label everything about the interior of the home, then I would stay with that theme. So like here, let's just pick one. Expanded, we've already done this one here, so let's go through and let's, you know, we could put right here, where was this? Is 3888. And then you're going to do the next one, and you can go back. Great living room here. Formal living room. Come on. So sometimes if you click and drag too quickly, that's what happens. It goes into a little fit there. What are we going to do? Dining room. You can put formal dining room. I wouldn't just put dining room, but so anyway, you could emphasize the pan ceilings up here, and separate eating area over here. Anyway, so you're going to do your whole list of descriptions throughout, and just for example, I told you about this, the title and the photo. You can see, like, if I wanted to move this picture over here, you can see that the title goes with it. So that's the reason I said to get all your photos in the right place at the right time, because now this dining room, you can see it's actually going over into the study. See, now it says dining room over there. So then I would have to go through here and adjust this, and then take this and move this over, move those over to the left. So it's going to be more of a headache. Okay, so I think we're about to add the music. That's what I usually do the very last. So that's the kind of the fun part. Let's go ahead and add. Let's put. See, you can see it added. See, I dragged it really quick and see what happened. So drag it really slow. There we go. We're going to delete that. Very finicky, I will tell you. So we're going to go back here, take it, and then put it right there. You can see it. That title disappear. It's because this title is infringing on that title. So you don't want that. You can take this, and now you can stretch this back out to where it was. So anyway, make sure you get all the titles first before you start adding the music. Right here, whatever you want to put in, presented by Sue and Mark, whatever. So you're going to even just accidentally hit the space bar. I'm going to delete that. Don't worry, iMovie is very finicky. You can always correct it. Go back here, put in your name. You can also click up here and just add your types up there instead of down here in the end. There you go, and fill out the rest. So we go. Hit tab, go to the next one. Let's see. There you go. Okay, so we've got everything. I'm going to pause here for just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, back again. Now to add the music. Let's go up to audio. So iMovie has a lot of built-in things, which I don't typically care for that much, but it's okay. So let's go here and let sound effects. And they have a lot of different things they can do. These are fun. These are definitely fun when you're doing vacations and stuff. You can add like this, a bottle, door closing, golfing. If somebody's out golfing, you can add that. So that's kind of fun. But those aren't what we're going to use today. Let's go to jingles. And you can see they're going to load here in a second. We can organize them by time. No, let's don't go to jingles. Let's go to theme music. Some of this is really good. One thing to keep in mind is we've got how long is our video? So we want the music to fit our video. And we want to maybe just have a little bit longer so it will fade into the background and not just chop off right at the end. So right now we got, these are the selections. Just click on, you can hear a little bit. Sometimes I use that one. This could be a one, oh, breaking news. That was fun. Here's the play for one. Those are all good. Some of these down here, they're too harsh, I think. So you can use any of those. What I've done is I've downloaded a couple that I like, and you can go to another site and buy music that's not copyrighted. So, and to that point, you just don't want to play like a song that's the Goo Goo Dolls or anything that's a major artist that's going to kick you off, or you're going to get complaints. If you try to upload that to YouTube, they're probably going to shut you down. And so you're going to want to use something that's not copyrighted. So you can go to Audio Jungle. They have a lot of different things, and you have to buy them, but it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it to buy some things that you're going to use over and over again. So I bought some music, and so I've called them Real Estate A version. They're mostly like Spanish guitars, like this one. So this one I really like. So if you watch some of my videos on my YouTube channel, I think it's very classy. It gives a little bit of an upbeat feeling. Get people engaged a little bit more in the video. You don't want to fall asleep during the video, and you want to go, oh wow, let's watch this a little more. So that's one of my favorite ones. This is another one. It's just actually the same version of these other ones, but it came in a little bit longer format. So as you can see, this one is 1 minute and 25 seconds. So that's pretty close. That's about what I think I should use. So let's go ahead and get this ball rolling. So I'm going to bring this up so I can see it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the Real Estate version B, and I'm just going to drag it down. Come on, baby. It's processing. So if I put it here, it will start here. I want it to start at the very beginning. There we go. On a note here, you can see these little, when I go right to the middle of the timeline, you can see these 2 arrows pop up. That's going to adjust the level, the noise, not the noise level, but the play level. You don't want it coming on blaring at 400%. You saw that. That's going to turn people off. So I usually try to get it in there around 60, 70%. Okay. So now we've got almost a full video going here. Let's see. And just scrolling down, moving everything off. Okay, and you see it. It went all the way to the end. So it's going to last probably, let's see, this is only about 1 minute, so about 20 seconds too long. So I'm going to shorten that. I'm going to highlight this audio, and I'm just going to take it to those black arrows. Pop up, you can see it. I'm going to drag it, and I'm going to drag it to about like right here, a little bit afterwards is what I've learned. Very good. So now it's going to end a little bit after the video. Great. But as soon as it goes past this picture, what's going to happen? It's going to play a little bit longer, and then it's just going to cut off. So I don't really want it to cut off. I kind of want it just to fade into the background. So how do I do that? So for one thing, I'm going to go back, and I want this to fade right here. I want it to fade into black. Let's see. Where is that? Fade to black, right here. You see that? I'm going to go here and add that right at the end. So that way, when it comes here, it's going to fade to black. I'm going to make that a 1. Awesome. There we go. And then go back and highlight the audio, and you can see this little arrow right there. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to take that, and you can see what it's doing. It's moving. So it's moving the end of the audio is going to start fading at whatever point you decide. So I usually put it like right there. right in the middle of the photo where it's going to start fading, and then it'll fade off. So let's see what this sounds like. And we'll start here and then hit the space bar. Should start fading now. Okay, it automatically goes back to the beginning. So I usually watch this about 3 to 5 times to make sure I have not misspelled anything, and I have everything in the right order that I like. If not, I can change it. I can also watch this. I can go over here. I can hit this in the full screen mode, but I don't want to do that right now, but that's just an option for you. To get that back, you just hit escape. Alright, everything's looking pretty good. This may have ended a little bit too long. I might want to shorten that a little bit. Oh, I noticed I'm just checking, I didn't put a Ken Burns on that. And these photos are not loading for some reason, so we're going to go back and see what happened here. So these photos, sometimes you might have a corrupt photo or a corrupted video. Don't ask me why, but I did a video in Lohi. I did it for the Happy Campers restaurant there in Lohi, and I could not get that file to play. So I had to go back out and re-record it again. It was a corrupted file. So it's not you. Sometimes it's just something didn't happen right. So this one, I would go back in, and if after double checking, I would go through and say, hey, I want this to be Ken Burns, and then boom, now it's Ken Burns. So this one was too short. All right, I want that with 2 seconds. This one, instead of having to go back in and change everything, I would just go back in and just say, hey, I'm going to fix a few of them and go back and then start playing from there. I hit spacebar, and now I've got the Ken Burns. This one I didn't do a Ken Burns, but I would. So you know what? It's the video. The videos are not playing. For some reason the videos are not playing. Let's go back and see again. They were playing earlier, but now they're not playing. That's very frustrating if you have to go back out and do it again, but you might have to, so just keep that in mind. They might be corrupted, or you could just let this sit a little while and come back. It might be playing, or you could just take this out and then delete it and then reinstall it from up here in your media, and then it might be okay. So let's actually try that. Let's going to go and delete that. And where was my tennis shot? Right there. I only wanted 3 seconds of that. See, now it's black. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Where was the other one? Let's see. Now it's black too. Anyway, it's the finickiness of definitely of iMovie. So you're going to run into some frustration, especially when you do the movie. You won't have much frustration if you just stick to the still photos. But if you start doing videos, yeah, there's going to be some times where you might have to go back out and redo that. Okay, so I'm going to shorten this up a little bit right here. About right there. Let's see how that goes. Oh, that's perfect. I kind of like that. Okay, so we've got a video. You've got all the titles in there where you want them. You're ready to go. It's about it's about good length. It's only 1 minute and 11 seconds. I think that's perfect. So now how do I use what I just did? So right up here, this button right up here in the right hand corner. So let me see. I got to use this drawing tool because I just learned how to. So it's right up here. You can barely see it. That's the button right there. Okay, so this is the upload button. I want to export the file. So right here, you say it says iMovie 14. That's where you can change the name here. You can even use a different tag for it. Highlands Ranch 2-story. This automatically populates right here. Always use the 1080 and the high quality. Gonna hit next. Then you can figure out where you want it. You can put Highlands Ranch. That's where you're gonna name it right here. You can actually put it where you're gonna put it. I'm going to put it right with my Weston Main folder. Usually I would put it with the actual client itself. So let's just put Highlands Ranch video training. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. So hit save. So you will see up here in the right hand corner, be a little bit patient. It may take a little while, but it actually saves pretty fast. You can see there's a white bar right there, show activity. Here it goes. It won't take that long. You'll get a notification as soon as it's saved. It'll be in the form of an MP4 file. If I'm correct, then you will be able to upload that to your YouTube channel if you choose to. You can upload it directly into Facebook or Instagram. If you want to do IGTV, then it has to be more than a minute long. But just keep that in mind. So you don't want to make it 59 seconds. IGTV will reject it, at least in my experience. So you see we're about halfway down there. You can also use Vimeo. I also joined Vimeo. I found sometimes when you upload it to YouTube, I don't know, it gets a little bit fuzzy towards the beginning, and then it starts to clear up when you play it, which doesn't look very impressive. So once you get a YouTube link or a Vimeo link, then when you go into your listing, you can put it into your video, go into virtual tours and just add that link there. And so whenever the agents will click on that virtual tour, they'll actually be directed toward your YouTube. So great resource there. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, I would suggest you get one. So there you go. Oh. Share failed. Well, we'll have to try again then. There we go. Go to export file. And let's try again. Like I say, iMovie can be frustrating. You can ask Sue. Sometimes I would be up at like 3 o'clock in the morning doing a video, and she'd get up at 8 o'clock and I was still working on it because it's, things would crash. I ended up getting a new laptop, so now I've got a MacBook Pro. It's much better. My other laptop just kept crashing, and I said it was just too frustrating for me. So ended up getting another one. Anyway, when you get that in a file, then you can upload it to different things. And just by the way, all this stuff I self-taught myself, and it's nothing to be proud of. I mean, just go to YouTube and I just searched on iMovie tutorial. So I probably watched 20 videos on how to do different features. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. These are just basic things. There's so many different things you can use on iMovie that I really don't care about. I just want to use the basic things, to get me a property video. Because, you can do it from, let's see, Virtuance does a nice little video. So if you want to just use their link, that's good. But they won't do a coming soon one. And, they won't they won't make it customized, and so that's the reason I might do both. I might have the Virtuance link in there, and I might put ours in there, because you can do several other ones. So apparently that does not want to export this video. That's fine. I might have to start over, but it will say exported to so-and-so, and then you just go to where it's exported. Usually it's in your documents, and then you would upload it there. So sorry that's not working, but that's the major gist of it. The next one I'll do is going to be for how to do a trailer, and look forward to seeing you next time. All right, bye guys.